Everything's doing good.
Yeah, no injuries. Feel good. Had a good long training camp, and then just ready, excited.
And talk about your opponent, Ben Rothwell. His first big fight in the UFC. He's obviously very, pumped up to make a good showing. This is a good chance for you to leave your imprint. How do you feel about it?
Feel good about the fight. He has a lot of experience. He's a big guy. He likes to stand. He's got a lot of power. Um, it just feels good, just to be climbing up the ladder now. And after check, this Ben Rothwell's a really good opponent.
Congo was a big step forward for you. Do you think, were you pleased the way you came for that, or did you see it as another learning experience?
Definitely all the fights. I think they're a learning experience. There's stuff in the Czech Congo fight that I took and had to work on them in the gym, and I did that. And I think that's how I get better, and that's how I progress as a fighter. From looking at my previous tapes, knowing what I did wrong, what I did right, and just improving on them.
You're very hard on yourself, as a matter of course. Were you particularly hard on yourself for the Congo fight, and did you sort of go back to the gym with even more renewed fire after that fight, and especially leading up into this fight?
Yeah, I was. I looked at the fight, and then in the stand-up part of it, I pretty much stood in front of a guy who's a world-renowned striker, and pretty much got punished for it. And just learned. I had to learn from that, and make sure that's not going to happen again. And it's not.
So was the learning curve basically playing to your strengths and sort of sticking to the game plan? Was that one of the major learning?
Yeah, yeah. I took to the game plan. I pretty much hesitated for a split second. That's all it takes in the sport to something bad happen.
Where do you feel you are in your career, Cain? Do you feel you're still very much a work in progress with just 6 fights? You've reached a high level with 6 fights, but how would you describe where you think you are in the sport?
I think I have a lot to learn, not just on one part of MMA, on all aspects, whether it be the ground, the wrestling, and the stand-up part of it. I think just because the sport is growing so fast that I gotta have to evolve with the sport, or else people are gonna be left behind.
I understand that Machida trained in your camp for a few weeks. Did you get to spend time with him?
Yeah, we had good training sessions. I had I got to learn a lot from him, from his style, which really you don't see. But it was a good learning experience, good training experience.
What do you think of him as a fighter?
I think he's a great fighter. Honestly, too many guys in his weight class that can beat him right now. Just to see how he dominates people, it's just really exciting.
Is it surprising after you've seen him on television or up close to actually go in the gym with him? Was it different?
Well, he went in our gym when before he fought Tito, so I got to see a little bit of him. Didn't really know what he was all about, but just see him now progress even more as a fighter is a good thing.
So some time ago that you worked with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cain, there's a great tradition of Mexican fighters in boxing, and you're one of the first in MMA. Do you feel any of that tradition when you go into the cage?
Yeah, definitely. I think just the heart that the Mexican fighters bring to the boxing. I try to bring that to the MMA world, and it's just pretty much I've always brought that with when I used to wrestle. I think I just got it down from my parents. They're extremely hard workers, and that's just how I take things. Work hard for what you want.
What fighters did you look up to when you were growing up? Like, was there anybody that really stood out for you?
Like Chavez back in the day, I always looked up to him when I was growing up. He's pretty much in his prime, so that was one fighter I look up to. I think he's one of the greats.
And can you talk about your tattoo, the Brown Pride tattoo? When did you get that, and give me the reasons?
I got it in 2002 for 2 reasons. One, really nobody that I could look up to in the media that looked like me. Well, there was boxers, but they were always little, and so me growing up, I didn't really have those dreams that I could do, be in the media or just be in TV or anything like that. And now that I can, I don't know, be like a hero to some people, if I could be that person, that's I'm proud to be that person, and I'm just proud of where my people came from, and how hard we work for stuff. My dad, the second reason I got it was from my dad. So proud of him. He crossed over from Mexico to the U.S. He actually got deported like 7 times, but he wasn't gonna give up until he had got what he wanted, and that was just a better life, a chance to survive, and in society.
Do you anticipate fighting on a UFC card in Mexico one day in your career?
Definitely, I think that's one of my dreams, to be fighting in Mexico. Just because the sport has grown so much, the UFC's grown so much, that to take it to Mexico where they have a huge tradition of boxing and wrestling. It's just a win. Once they get introduced to the sport, and they have already. I mean, it's going to be so popular, and I mean that's just one of my dreams to have a fight there.
Cain, you had a lot of success taking Congo down. Do you think you'll be able to have the same success with Rothwell in your wrestling?
I think Rothwell is a little more well-rounded than Cheick Kongo. He's good on the ground. He has good takedown defense. But that's not what I'm just going in to do. That's not what I'm going